107.5, you're on the Toast Breakfast Show with Scott Hendriks, 16 past 9 on your Friday morning. I've just been joined in the studio by Eavesdrop. How are you, bro?
Good, bro.
It's been a while. I think the last time I caught up with you was, it would have been March last year, just when you released They're on Fire, and that was...
Was it?
Yeah, that was...
I didn't come in for the EP that I released earlier in the year. Maybe I didn't. No.
You missed us out.
It's been a while. Oh, sorry about that.
But how you been anyway, bro? What's
been
been
really
happening?
good, man. Been really good. Changed job. Working at Serato, and which was because we were working together at the same company before that.
Yeah.
And been working on an album.
Nice. And that how long's that been in the works for?
That's been in the works since probably about June, I'd say.
Yeah.
After I kind of finished touring the EP that I released earlier in the year, I thought it was about time.
Yeah.
After releasing a couple of EPs and sort of a string of singles and remixes, I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to just kind of get a body of work together and see if people like it, I guess.
Yeah, man. I saw your remix of that Somebody That I Used to Know song has like 5.7 million views or something like that, dude. I don't even know any Kiwi that's got that many views on YouTube, man. How did you manage to do that?
I think Gautier managed to do that, bro.
Yeah.
I think, it's, I guess I'll say, it sounds a bit funny, but yeah, it is definitely the most popular remix of that song.
Yeah.
Out there, but yeah, I don't know. It just kind of fell together. The reason I actually wrote it in the first place was actually just a bit of a joke, a bit of a dig.
Because did you actually like the song?
Oh yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
mean, the first time I heard it was when Nick D over at George played it, and I was like, wow, this is like a combination of, sort of how it felt like. It was kind of like it had a little bit of a feeling of like Sting, and it had a little bit of feeling of like a couple of other people, that I was kind of like, oh, this, and it reminded me of kind of my childhood and the stuff that my dad used to listen to. I don't know why that was. I don't know whether it was, the kind of the chord structure that they used, because it was quite minimal, but. Then I just kind of...
it was catchy.
Yeah, it was. And then I heard Dan Ox had done a remix of it, and I thought, why? Dan's going to do one, I'm going to do one.
Yeah.
So, and then cut the video up.
Is it kind of stabs between you two that you kind of got more views for it and a bit more hype around it?
There's been a bit of a laugh about it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's, that was a while back when, when I started sort of streaming ahead, and I think, now it's quite funny. It's sort of fallen off now. It's not as popular as it was. But for a while there, when every time that song made a number 1 hit in a different country, it just the views just flew up, and it had a really mixed response. It's quite funny, there's been sort of like thousands and thousands of likes, and then there's a few thousand dislikes, and so it's kind of like 2/3 like it and 1/3 don't, but you're going to have to expect that with drum and bass,
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a bit of a niche sound.
No, exactly. Yeah, but this Pins and Needles, you're dropping it in March. Is there a reason why you're dropping it at the end of summer?
Well, yeah, I guess it was because we didn't quite have it ready for an earlier release. The idea was that we would release 3 singles before we went into summer, just to kind of give it some momentum. But we would have been ready probably mid-January.
Yeah.
But mid-January, no one's really buying music.
And most people aren't at their computer trying to look up new music either, I suppose. So
they're kind of just settling in with what they've got for summer. And I thought about that, and I thought, well, let's just put it off until March, when people are sort of starting to settle back into work and still wanting that summer vibe. I mean, I have to be honest, the rest of the album isn't incredibly summery. I've actually gone a little bit deeper.
Yeah, even that Clearwater tune, it's set in Japan. The video, man, is pretty choice. Did you actually go to Japan to
I wish. I didn't actually go to Japan to shoot the video. It's a funny story, actually. When Koshia actually lives in Japan, and she happened to just be back here. She actually featured on my EP that I released earlier in March. She did 2 tracks on that. And then I wrote this tune, and I was like, this would be perfect for her voice. And so I kind of got in touch with her on Facebook, and she said, bro, I'm back in New Zealand. And I was like, whoa, okay. She come round, I got a tune for you. So she came round, dropped the tune off, came back a couple of days later with it ready to go. We recorded it, and we had it finished within 2 days. And while we were talking about it, it was like, hey man, wouldn't it be cool if we did a video for this? And then, because she lives in Japan, we were like, let's do it in Japan, just real pipe dreamy kind of stuff, and we just kind of put one foot in front of the other. And before we knew it, we were ready to go. We sent them down to Tokyo, and her husband actually shot it, like totally amateur. with a camera that was, no red cam or no special effects, no lighting, nothing like that. And basically just gave them a massive shot list, and they went for it, and sent back the footage, through snail mail, and we got an amazing video editor to cut it. This guy Ben Fowler.
Yeah.
He's an editor who runs a company called Sideways Productions.
Yeah.
They've done quite a few videos, and he was awesome. He did it for free. It really didn't cost us hardly anything. Because we couldn't really afford it, there's not a huge budget in music these days, and with it's the album's signed to Loop, but there's not a huge amount of backing there. Like the label owner and the label doesn't have a huge amount of money to push into music anymore, because the returns within the music industry now are a lot more focused on the artist and their touring. So unless they take a cut out of that, it's kind of they do what they can to support the music. So it falls back on the artist a lot.
Yeah, no, well, the like you're saying, it was shot. It did have the video clip does have a kind of almost handy cam feel about it, which is really choice. It gives it a really cool vibe, and I think it suits well with the music as well. And you touched on it just a bit earlier about how you're going a bit more soulful. And I kind of noticed that with that first tune, and it's a cool vibe, man. It's really I think the best way, as though it sounds cliche, is describe it as it almost takes you on a bit of a journey.
Yeah,
which is
the video
really
takes
cool.
you on a journey too, right? We thought about that, and I was like, oh, what can we shoot? And I was like, Shibuya Crossing, it's pretty generic, but I'd love to get some shots in there, and maybe some train shots, and let's go to a temple, and so we just kind of keyed it up, figured it out, and then got it done. And then that was the exact vision that I had for it, and Ben was able to manage to sort of translate that.
Right.
It was cool. We're really happy with it.
That's choice. So this LP is dropping in March. How many tunes are on it?
13.
13. That's
13 tracks,
and are they all a little bit different, or have you kind of stuck with the same vibe? Or?
No, they're all a little bit different. As you'll notice, there's a new single dropping today, which is featuring J-Dubs with a rap on the top of it, which is a lot more heavy. I've always been into heavy D&B, but I've never really sort of come through and released much heavy D&B. My sound still comes through it, but there is a bit more sort of stuff there on that album for the boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's still some stuff there for the ladies, and I'm not saying that they only like soft or hard stuff, but there's a combination of music there, sort of genre sort of bending, drum and bass.
So is this your first going to be your first release of an album that's actually that long?
Yeah.
It will be?
This is my first album.
Yeah, and how many EPs before that?
There was 2 EPs before that.
Yeah. And good reception from both of those?
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing for me is maybe it's just been my journey, but kind of going, through sort of a single release and then another single release and then an EP release and then another couple of singles and then an EP. It's kind of been a bit of a journey of how my music production, how my styles changed, and kind of developed to what I really want. And I think along the way I've written the odd tune and I've gone, oh, that's an album tune. Yeah. That's something I want to hold back for my album, because I feel like that really sort of is the sound that I want to put on my album, because I had an idea for what I wanted it to be shaped like right from the start. So I think it's just maybe that's just been part of the process of me getting to a place where I'm really happy with what I'm doing. So
you've been making music for what, 10 years now?
Yeah, well,
and so for someone to make music for 10 years and then finally get to the point where they're ready to release an album, are there many tunes in that time that you were talking about holding tunes back? Has there been a few?
No, only in the past year.
Only in the past year.
Yeah. In 10 years, a lot of it's kind of just a little bit of here and there of stuff that you make, but it's never really quite there. Maybe I'm a slow learner, I don't know, but I've got friends out there who are writing some of the most incredible music you can imagine. Not drum and bass so much, but guys out there who are musicians who teach piano and are out there, amazing jazz drummers, and who are putting together music like Solar Rosa stuff and like Nathan Haynes level, and they're still going, oh nah, it's not ready yet. Because I think artists, it's quite an emotionally taxing thing to put your music out so that people can judge it and they can experience it, and it depends on your mind frame. You know what I mean? Like some people were a little bit not so inclined to put something out until it's ready. So I think in that space of sort of 5 years of writing music prior to that, I don't think the music was necessarily at a level where it could be put out there. I wouldn't have been necessarily happy with it.
All right. Well, so you were telling me just before there's been a tune released 2 weeks ago, one last week and one this week, and which one is released this week?
This one is the Cat Burglar.
The Cat Burglar, and
that comes out. That's just come out today.
All right. Well, we'll play that right now. Without further ado, I'll let you give it a little bit of an intro. How quickly do the vocals kick in so that I can?
Just hit play, man. I know.
All right, let's go.
All right, this is the Cat Burglar. You're with Eavesdrop in the studio, Up FM. Keep it locked.
Yeah. J rockin' the beats with ease, watchin' MC stop it to listen like whenever you eavesdrop. They making noise but never fly like peacocks. They bubble a couple of minutes, your teapot's whistling. No wisdom in the words that's dribbling out your mouth. And these fork tongues slithering rappers are living in their own imaginary lands. I'm looking at your strand, the material ain't even the same fabric, man. And when you in the mix with J double, I straight muddle that shit to pieces with a squeeze of lime. I'm theorizing when I'm speaking mind to mind, walking talk the rhyme. Be magic, it's just another stalk to climb. Operandi, hand me the mic and see my Patronus standing alone and glowing like the flow is so focused. I rose over the writer's block and noticed an evolutionary process, the state of gnosis. Yo, the rap burglar's back. I put myself on the map, pillaging ears, killing shit, but going further than that. I set the bar high like I'm working a racks. My time is money and there ain't no turning it back. I rap glyphs and syllables from physical pages to free a spiritual slave in the digital age. It's only seen as a transmission, my man, listen. The antiphony and stanza is all handwritten. I'm canvassing the certified authentic. I'm all about the finer details like it's forensics. Burning up the spot like I forgot there were knives on. When I vocalize the joint, you can see him get high from it. The purple haze liaison, getting my blaze on between the realities of the real and where I came from. I got the silky smooth, need a beat to drape on, and I'ma stand out while you getting your fucking beige on. Hey yo, I never really felt like this before. When it's such a short distance until I hit the floor. So pass the Bombay and let me sip some more. And start chopping up that shit you use the Rizzlers for. Take a seat and let me talk to ya. Been walking a fine line and recording a moment in time, now I'm more fitter. I ain't a forfeitter or critter either, so I'm rhyming on my slang like a northerner. Trying to vocalize, wanting an open sky to fly in, lying with open eyes. Oversized like my baggage is. I kept thinking the door was closed like a caption is. My view shorter than a baggins is. I'm deep-minded, find me in my niche rhyming. That self-pinnacle shit, cause I keep climbing. And will continue to the end of my days. The J double with some more venomous pen to the page shit.
Toast Breakfast Show with Scott Hendriks. Eavesdrop's in the studio. This is Eavesdrop, Cat Burglar, J Dubs.
How is that J Dubs dude, man?
He's choice, eh? I like it, man. So I'm gonna actually play one of your tunes as well underneath us. This is Moonlight Over Wanaka. We did just chat a few seconds ago, loosely about your video clip, and I touched on things like Spotify and you know, these things that are popping up that people can just easily access music, download, and I know, you know, there's things like Apple and stuff like that. But do you actually do these things give you props, or are they a hassle? And are you turning on the radio or looking your music up and going, hey, what? I didn't know my tune was there, or...
Well, I mean, with the digital database as large as the digital distribution database as large as it is these days, once your music's out there, it's basically out there for free or for sale. So wherever it turns up, if people are listening to it, that's a good thing. I mean, this music world has changed, and as an artist, if you don't follow it and you don't stay within sort of whatever the new boundaries are, you're going to get lost, and you can't get hung up on that anymore because the internet's a huge thing, and it's wide, and there's so much content out there, and there's so many people producing music. If people are listening to your music, that's a good thing. Yeah,
promo's promo, isn't it? I suppose.
Right. So I mean, I put my music out there for sale, but what's $1.50 for a song anyway? You know, like there is. In my mind, I don't expect to make any money off the physical distribution of my album. I'm more inclined to think that the money, if any, is rebated through touring and through actually doing shows. That's where it's made.
I think a lot of artists these days are kind of looking at it as though, for them, the fact that people are listening to their music and hearing their expression is kind of worth more than money. As cliche as that sounds, but I have heard that kind of echoed by a lot of people.
Yeah, totally. It depends, if you see it as business or not. But I guess in a way, it doesn't really matter. Like, for me, it's if people are enjoying my music and they're listening to it, that gives me the satisfaction that I desire anyway.
That's choice.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't make money from music. I just see it as the fact that you do all of this stuff, and there is a business that's around it. It is a business, like the film business. The art world, writing books, any kind of art form that goes out and is consumed by people is a business. But the shape of those businesses are constantly changing, and I think as an artist, you have to understand that. So. A lot of people in New Zealand have to have jobs. You have to have a normal job as a musician. It's very hard to do it full time. So
So you were also saying there's a video that you're shooting tomorrow, is it, for Cat Burglar?
No, Wednesday next week.
Wednesday next week.
Yes, it's the majority of it's done. We're just a little bit behind schedule because the release came out today. But we had one of our camera guys actually had to drop out because he got a job that he just had to take. Obviously we're the low budget dudes. But it should be out in the next couple of weeks.
And that'll just be up on YouTube, or
be up on YouTube, probably out on TV as well.
Nice.
The Clearwater's being played on C4 at the moment.
That's cool.
Through summer. So look out for it. I mean, it'll be on YouTube as well, and I'll post it on my Facebook.
Okay, bro. And if someone wants to pick up, I know that there was one of your tunes for free. Clearwater's up for free download.
That's correct, yeah. If you go to the Facebook, so you go facebook.com eavesdropnz, you'll be able to find it there for free download. And
if someone wants to pick up this tune Underneath Me and Cat Burglar that we played a little earlier,
Beatport, iTunes, all your locals.
Love it. And is it Eavesdrop NZ or just Eavesdrop?
Just Eavesdrop. But Eavesdrop NZ on the Facebook and the SoundCloud and stuff like that.
Love it. Awesome, bro. Well, hey, big thank you for joining me again this morning, bro. It's good to see you. Are you touring?
Yes. There'll be a few shows. We're playing at Northern Base. There might be a little bit of a live act going on down there.
Nice.
So we're playing there on the 30th of December. But pre that, we're playing in Wanaka, just sort of like this song. And then we're also playing in Queenstown, and then we're playing at another festival called Secluded Sounds on the 26th of January. So yeah, look out for those shows. We'll be there.
Love it. Awesome, bro. Well, good to see you. And everybody, Eavesdrop. Awesome. I will also flick out all the details for how you can pick those tunes up. YouTube as well. That Clearwater tune, the video was shot in Japan. Awesome. It looks kind of like a home doco style, which is really choice. Anyway, keep it locked right here.